jump straight into colouring. I realised I forgot to mute my mic. Oops. Professional. Sorry to hear me basically breathing the last couple of minutes. Oh. Smolder, hello. Hello, how are you, hon? We have done a bit of work on the background, like I said I was going to do. So I could film the background tutorial, and I have stuff everywhere from doing so. All my pencils are still all over my desk. I was up till like 2:30 in the morning trying to sort all this out. So, things I should have done before I went live. Alright, so I'm going to leave the Albert drawers out for the moment because we may need to match them to the polychromes. Lone, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. It's lovely to see you all here, right on time. I managed to go live on time today. Miracles will never cease. Why do we have a big glow there? Because part of my curtain is open. Oh wow, we're just gonna... There we go. Totally fine. Totally balanced. Oh. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It has been a little chaotic here as per usual. My mum is doing a market, not the one right next door to me, but just across the road a bit. So yeah, that's been interesting. I've had to run some coffees and stuff around. I absolutely love it. Thank you. Love the rainbow heart emote. That's so cute. So cute. I'm currently crocheting till the sun goes down. That's the way to do it. Alright, I should actually move my mic closer to me. So maybe you'll actually be hearing me now. So, a thing that notifies people on multiple channels is being a poop today. So, I'm wondering... We will go in here. We will post in here. I don't generally post a lot of places. I don't like to do the self-promotion thing, but a lot of places I'm in have an auto bot that posts when people go live, so I don't mind that. But Streamcord's apparently shite itself today, so it's not posting anywhere. But we will post in here. Make sure we leave a space. Sorry, I usually do this all before I turn on the camera, but it's been a morning. Okay, that's the only one I'll bother with. So, as you can see, we've had a little bit of progress. Hey, Shani! Hello, how are you? It's wonderful to see you. I hope the rest of your stream went well. I did eventually manage to get some sleep, so... But yes, for those that were here last time, we have made a lot of progress in the downtime. So where we left it, I hadn't finished these top little mushrooms, so I did finish them off. And then obviously the big thing is the background, which I did say I was going to do off stream so that I could record it as a tutorial because I had been asked about doing foresty backgrounds. So it is 90% done. There's probably little things I will pick at as we finish off our troll dude. Still working on the tooth terror. I like it. I like the name. It was looking so good. I love the color combination. I think that's like, I know some people aren't as much of a fan of the book as me, but I love the opportunity that that book provides in terms of just going crazy with materials, imagination, color. I think it's going to be really good for sparking some people's creativity to maybe then push themselves into other books that they really would have pushed color palettes or media or something. So I'm excited to see. It was really cool to see you using turquoise and yellow. So what I used in the background was a combination of my ink tints and my Albert Durers. I don't know. Because of limited colour palettes, I kind of had to go a bit weird with some of the colour blends, but it worked in the end. Because I don't have the full range of Albert Durers. I only have, I think it was a 32 set, and even then I think I've lost one or two of them, so they're not complete. So yeah, but we have a lot to do today because I want to finish this one today, and then at some point during the stream today I also have to run my mum a coffee, which means that either I'm going to leave you guys with Words on Stream for half an hour so you can play Words on Stream, which is like a word puzzle game if you haven't seen it before, or I'm going to move you over to my mobile and take you over to the market. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I'll see what you guys feel like. If you want to come on a little market tour, I will have to stop stream, switch to my mobile, and then take you over a tour of the market while I run my mum a coffee, or I can just leave you with Words on Stream. We'll see how we feel. I love the colours. It reminds me of the design of the original rainbow flag. I love that. Well, we have our little trans opalescent snail here, trans pride colour snail. We've got our rainbow flag with our troll character being the green. So I love it. I love how it's come together where it's still, like, I was a bit worried the mushrooms would be a bit over the top, but because we use that brown undertone to help shade our mushrooms, it's still got a, like, natural base to it. Like, that little bit of brown helps really tie this all together. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. But the big thing to do today is we need to finish this tree in the background and then just create some definition. Oh, okay, that's good to know. It worked when I did my little test before I went live, which is part of the reason why I got delayed. But that is a very good fact to know. So maybe we will be doing a market tour. I will have to stop stream to swap to my mobile for that. And there'll be like a couple minutes where I'm getting out of my apartment so I don't dox myself on the internet, because, you know, that's probably not a wise thing to do. So yeah, but yeah, no, it was working before when I tested it. I haven't done it on stream before, but I just thought it was something that we could do. After all that, I know I did pull it out. I'm just blind. So yes, my mother is nearby doing a market, so I have to drop off coffee to her. That's a regular thing I do when she does a market nearby, is I will drop her off coffee. So I've dropped her off her morning one at about 8:30, and then around 12:30 I usually take her a second cup, because then I can make coffee in my apartment, which is cheaper. But also, if you are a little bit sensitive to milk and you have a commercially made coffee, there's a lot more milk in it versus the milk that you would put in at home. So it also means that mum can have coffee without worrying about a lot of dairy, because she doesn't do black coffee like me. So we're going to start by working on these tree branches. So because of my limited Inktense pencils, I couldn't produce a excellent blend between the two, because I had to work with that bark and willow, which there's such a difference between the two of them. So we've got this really jarring highlight and shadow. So now I just want to sort of blend that out and make that softer so it just reads a bit better. It is currently 10:10. I start my streams at 10 AM. So we've still got a couple of hours before I've got to run my coffee. And it is Good Friday here in New Zealand, which means I have no work today, which means we can do a mega stream if I feel like it. If I feel up to it and stream is popping and you guys want to keep hanging out, we can hang out all freaking day. I have no obligations except for one coffee at 12:30. So I would like to get this troll finished and maybe even get started on our next Mythomorphia page. Or maybe we can do something not Mythomorphia for once. I promise I have more colouring books than just Mythomorphia. It's just everything's Mythomorphia at the moment. I need to update my totals on my tracking app. I believe I am at 38% completed, but I could be wrong with that. I need to double check and do some calculations. Mushroom and forest troll time! Heck yeah! Heck yeah! So yeah, we put in a lot of darks and shadows with our base layer with the ink tints, and now I'm just working to refine those. And because there is a lot of like knots and bark waves in that are pre-drawn into the piece, that is what I'm using to sort of help define the bark. My gosh, we're already struggling with words. Great sign. Probably because I haven't had happy juice. We got the pink happy juice today. So good. So, and other interesting things happening in my life, if you're interested. If not, just tell me to shut up. In fact, you have a robot now that can tell me to shut up. I went to go and triple check that all my sound alerts are working properly, because every time Mike tries to activate one, it's not working for some reason. So hopefully it's fixed. But I discovered that I have more sound alert slots, and that I can do a robot voice sound alert. So you can do the text-to-speech one now, where you can have a robot read out your message, which I thought was fun. But there's a couple more sound alerts, so I just chucked some in to try to fill out the slots, and may change them out later. But these more sounds, because sounds are fun. I like the sound alerts. I also received a really cool package today. I helped out with a local charity stream for cyclone relief, and they asked for my... That is my earworm. That song never leaves my head. So now it can be stuck in all of your heads. But yeah, I received a really cool package because I was helping out with a charity stream, and they afterwards asked for my address to send me a little something, which I just thought was maybe like a card or something. So I gave them Mum's address. They sent me, because they got, it was a D&D charity live stream, and they had the actual New Zealand movie producer company. I don't know, they had like some pretty darn big corporate sponsors. So I got not only tickets to go and see the D&D movie, which is great because I can't afford it otherwise. I got a beanie that has got Dungeons and Dragons on it, and I got this cool ass satchel that looks like, I should show you. I should just show you. I don't know why I'm explaining it. I should just show you. Ow! Should be using my walking frame. Now you can interrupt anytime, Smolder. The sound alerts are there to interrupt because they're fun. Almost done. Falls over. Me every day. So yeah, we got massively bright beanie. Just fits my big head. I have issues with beanies, so yeah, just fits my head. It's all fleece lined inside, so that's cool. I'm not a big orange fan, like it's not really my skin tone color. It's not a color I wear a lot of, but it's still cool. But the thing that I was like, oh my freaking god, like, this is cool, and this is me to a T, is this awesome satchel. So it's got the D&D logo emblazoned in the, like, faux leather. It's already got my hair tangled in it. It's like, this is kind of what I imagine, like, a basic bag of holding to look like. So when I saw this, I was just like, oh my god, because they had a couple of these that they gave away, and I was trying to win one, because I was like, this is so cool. So, yeah, it's actual Honor Amongst Thieves merchandise. And then there's some tickets in there as well, but I won't show that because it's got like a barcode and stuff. And yeah, and I was absolutely like, oh my god, thank you. That was not expected. I did not help out to get anything from the charity. I was not expecting anything from the charity, so it's just like, it's so lovely. And as someone who consistently needs a big bag because I don't have pockets because female clothes suck, and like certain bags are very difficult to get into, so that sort of bag where it's over the shoulder satchel that I can swing round and then pop open to get something out of is very easy when I'm on walking frame or crutches. So it's like, oh hells yes, this is a good bag for me. Safety orange, that's a good way to describe it. The beanie is safety orange, but it is also thick and warm, and sometimes warmth beats fashion, particularly when you're me with my bones. Been working on this poncho in various parts for over a month. Oh yes. I also have a crochet project that I'm working on, but I can't show it because the person that this project is for watches my streams and my VODs, and so can't show it, but I'll show it when it's done. What an awesome gift. It really was. It really was. Such an amazing gift. So, and again, not expected, but very grateful for it. So, very, very grateful. I was like, when they said they were sending a little something, I was just expecting a card. I was hopeful that maybe it was some movie tickets, because they did say they just had like unlimited tickets to get away, and I couldn't afford to see the movie. So I was like, oh, maybe it's tickets, you know. So very happy to get a set of tickets. To get all that merch though is like, oh my god, so cool, so cool. So yeah, still not done, but after this hood is done, I'm the final run to get it done. Perfect. It's the final countdown, do-do-do, which is also a sound alert now, because how many times a stream do I sing that? You gotta do that. Do-do-do-do. You just have to. It's like the best part. Dividing a crochet project or craft or knitting project into smaller elements is the best way to do it. I have a massive quilt project that maybe one day I'll work on stream. Again, it's been a project, a labour of love for 5 years. It's gorgeous, but my gosh, is it a lot of work. So I quilted a bunch of fabric squares and made about 10 centimetre wide fabric squares, and they're all backed with like a plain white cotton, so they're all the same on the back, but the front side is like different vintagey but bright pretty floral fabrics. And then around the edges of these squares I've been blanket stitching, and then into the blanket stitching I'll be working crochet, so it'll have a crocheted border which will then be joined up, and then certain squares also will be fully crocheted with 3D textural roses, so there'll also be a 3D element to this blanket. I think I started it in 2017, 2018. I think 2018. I was still definitely working at the craft store when I started it. And I left there in 2018? No, even before then, because I was... My God, did I start it in 2015? Maybe I didn't start it when I was at the craft store. It's not been 10 years. I'm sure it's not been 10 years. Like, I feel like it's only been 5 years. I'd have to look at my Ravelry. What makes it curious is this is my first project since learning. Nothing like diving into the deep end, you know? You learn a lot. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. And hope for the best. Oh, I'm so sorry. My allergies are being a poop today as well. Alright, so that's enough of the dark sepia for now. So I've got burnt umber. I'm going to use this to sort of help blend out some of these areas even more. I did a crochet class. I'm so happy that we did beanies and cloth for class projects. That's cool. That's very cool. I love crochet. I am so glad that I'm able to start actually holding a crochet hook for a few hours now and actually sit down and do some crochet. It's been a while since I have been able to properly crochet, which is lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But now it's just like a time thing, like there's always a project on. There's already so many projects to do, so it's like, what project do I choose? Yeah, and crocheting and watching a stream is a very easy way to spend a day for me. I also colour while I watch streams as well, but I have to focus a lot more on the colouring. When I'm crocheting, I can just be like, sit down, type, do, and actually like just do it from memory. So occasionally looking down to make sure I'm actually hitting the right stitch. More confident with knitting than crochet, but can often multitask. These ladies that I watch at the markets and stuff who like sell the baby clothes that they've knitted, and they will have their book on a book stand with like a clip to hold their page, and they'll be knitting and they're just sitting there reading their book and they're not even looking at their knitting, and I'm just like, that's the ultimate multitasking. You're selling at a market while knitting product for your stall and reading a book. Like, way to go. Ultimate multitasking. 3 jobs at once. So you can start to see the difference in our... Actually, I might need to get my board because of Shine Reflect. But you can start to see the difference in the unworked tree branches versus the worked tree branches. We're starting to get a bit more shading between the two. Yeah, now I'm going to need my board. Where's my board? Works out well because I don't even have to get up. I can just roll on the chair now. Heck yes, please do share on the Discord. I love seeing what everyone is up to. I'm loving seeing so many posts have been flying in these last couple of days. It's so cool. So cool. So inspiring. Go. There we go. You get a little bit less shine reflection now. Let's actually put these the right way around. I hope. But we have moved back up into the green, so we should be okay. Yeah. You're back? Okay. Okay. We should be good. We should have no ads for the next 60 minutes. We should be good, provided my internet holds. I am so sorry. I am not someone who normally has a lot of internet issues. I have very stable internet most of the time, and that was a complete crash. So I do appreciate you bearing and sitting through that and all the cacophony of chaos. Oh. Right, we were colouring. I am pretty sure that I have lost some pencils. There's the pencils. We weren't working with dark sepia. I think we were working with burnt umber. We were. Right, I remember what we were doing. Oh, goodness. My apologies. Thank you so much for bearing with all that. I forgot with the fact that it essentially quit my stream and then restarted my stream. It also then restarted the ads because I have my ad set up so that the minute I go live, it instantly starts the ad break as quick as possible so that by the time everyone gets a notification I'm live, the ad break is done and you don't have to sit through ads for the first hour. So it's meant to be that, but of course with the restart it's like, oh, it's time to play an ad break. It's like, no, I don't actually want an ad break and I can't skip the ad break. I can delay it 5 minutes, but I also don't want to do that. So that's, I was like, if I quickly play a 1 minute ad break, maybe it won't play the 3 minute ad break. Yeah, I work from home, I work online, but also I reside in the centre of town. So generally I have pretty stable internet where I am because, like, if the internet line goes down where I am, businesses, like thousands of businesses, lose their internet, and then the internet provider has to pay these businesses for lost income, or pay the insurance company that pays the businesses for their lost income due to internet outage. So they're like even more inclined to get the internet going around here. So most of the time it's pretty darn stable, but just had a massive freak out, and it's not like it's being hammered today by the businesses around here because it's Good Friday and most places aren't allowed to trade. I think the only places allowed to trade are like cafes. As I was saying before, I feel awkward posting on the Discord, not used to the internet after being going so long. Oh, well, I hope you don't. Like, I feel like the Discord has become a really good place for curating really lovely people who are supportive and want to see what you create. So I hope you do keep posting to the Discord, because I'm really enjoying seeing the work. I'm completely at a loss with Discord too, but it seems straightforward to post photos. It is, like, it seems overwhelming at first, especially because there is a lot of channels in my Discord. So I am aware that my Discord can be a lot because I've got multiple D&D games that run on that Discord, and then I try to keep a few separate channels so that you don't have one channel where you've got 15 conversations going on at once. So having all those channels is so we don't have to have all those conversations happening in one place, which is why there are so many channels. But I am glad to see that you're at least figuring out the photo side, because honestly, the galleries, the work in progress gallery and the finished gallery, are some of my favorite channels on the Discord, because I just love scrolling through and seeing all the work. I love the inspiration channel, especially the way that Fud words things when they upload inspiring stuff. It's always like, I can stare at those mushies for hours and be like inspired by so many things. I love seeing all the fur babies. Like, Writer's Spread alone is huge. So many fur babies. And like, when you upload stuff, like in the galleries and stuff, you'll see that there's tags. If you're not sure, don't worry, because I go in there and I add in tags, and I will adjust the tags to what the tags are. Because the point of the tags is so, like, if I want to just go check out colouring, I hit the colouring tag, and only things tagged with colouring will pop up. If I want to see digital. That's the whole reason for the tags. It's not too important right now, but as that gallery is getting more and more filled, and you want to find a particular piece, you might be like, oh, I remember that colouring page Amy was doing months ago involving the Woodland Troll. Crap, I can't remember where it is. You can hit the colouring tag because you know it will be colouring and find the colouring. So it's hard to explain. It's like, I haven't posted anything so long, it feels awkward. No, that's valid. That's valid. Like, you did take a significant internet break. So, and the way the internet works now with how intensely and quickly things change and develop and upgrades, and, you know, like, the world changes, and you even just step away for a few weeks and things can change. So stepping away for as long as you did and then coming back, like, it's a whole new world. It can take a moment to find your voice. So, you know, just know that you'll never be like, post something and us going, haha, you posted that. No, unless it's you posting something funny, we'll be going, haha, that was a really cool thing to post. Like, you know, you can't really post anything wrong except for, you know, explicit content and horrible bigotry content and stuff like that. But if you're in the Discord, nah, you're not that kind of person. Yeah. And there is a fine line between what you should and should not share on the internet. And I am, admittedly, that's still something that I am learning as well, because I am very much the type of person that will just be an open book about everything and not have those boundaries. But also needing to understand that, like, you know, you hear about parasocial relationships and YouTube and Twitch, and understanding that there is a little bit of a following and trying to have those boundary lines. So it's like, if I was just on a phone call with my friends, when I go to make this coffee and take it to mum, like, no qualms, just chat on the phone, show the whole process, oh, totally fine. When I was thinking about this, I was like, oh crap, if I do this, I need to make sure that I make the coffee, turn off the live stream, switch over the phone, but I can't do it straight away because I would dox where I live on the internet, and I have to be conscious of that because I don't know everybody on the internet. I don't want to know certain people on the internet, you know? So it's, you know, my brain is just like, yeah, it's fine, it's totally cool, people are cool. You know, I'm too optimistic sometimes about people, and it's that reminder of, unfortunately, some people are dicks, and you don't quite want them to know where you live. So, yeah. Yeah, I was in a friend stream, and they've got one particular person that keeps turning up to their stream, and it's very, like, getting creepy, like, hey, what's your Discord? What's this? And so last time I called them on it, I was like, dude, you were here 2 weeks ago. I say dude, not knowing their gender, just using it as a generic term. Just being like, you were like this 2 weeks ago, and you kept on asking for them, for their Discord, and asking for their Twitter, and asking them to follow you. And they were very clear that they don't have a Twitter, they don't have a Discord. Their Twitter is, they've got their public facing Twitter, which you can follow, but they're not going to do that. was messaging them afterwards. I was like, you just need to, like, time this person out, like, if not ban them. Like, I would have just banned them at this point, because it's just creepy. And then we were talking about how there needs to be a Discord set up for, like, when people are like this, that you can give them the link to, and then they join, and it's like, you've been sent here because you're being weird on the internet, or, you know, you're being douchey on the internet. Here are some basic internet courtesies to... yeah. So the tag is new, so don't worry, you're not alone in this. So my Discord is what's called a community Discord, which allows me to have these things called forums, which is how the work in progress gallery and the completed works gallery looks the way it does, which is why I made it a community channel. And when you go and look in the work in progress gallery, the completed gallery, or the fur babies gallery, you will see on certain images there are tags, so little words. So in the fur babies one, for example, you will see on Ryder's one, there is Ryder's Rascals, which is Ryder's particular tag to show that it's his pets. And then there's also Fluff Monsters for cats and Paparinos for puppies. You will see that Smolt put up one, Smolt or Die, one of them, put up their burbs and their bird. So there's a burbs tag on there. Melosax put up some pictures of the cat cafe that they work in. So their pictures got like a little Fluff Monsters for cats, but then also Cat Cafe Chaos, because Mello's going to be putting up a lot of Cat Cafe Chaos. So it's a way where you can actually look at a particular category within this category, because there's going to be a lot. So going back to like the art channels, there's like a digital, there's a colouring, there's a drawing, there's a painting, I think there's like a yarn work one, and I can add in a lot more tags. So if there's something there, I think there's a photography, because Ryder does photography, so there is a photography tag for when you're putting up just like beautiful artistic photos that you've taken. Yeah, it's just a way so that if you go to the gallery and you're like, I'm drawing, I'm not really sure what to draw, and I want to be inspired, you can just hit that drawing tag and it will bring up anything tagged with drawing. Because as that gallery fills, it's going to be filled with a lot. So it's a way to sort of help organize and keep things clean. I hope that makes sense. It's really just an organizational thing. But not like the community and the tagging and stuff. This is all relatively new in the Discord field. So, yeah. Discord tips, very awkward people. No, that's all good. I teach, like, I'm not the biggest expert on Discord, but I also, as part of Yes and, have to train people on how to use Discord, so I hope it made sense. But please, at any point, if you're stuck, reach out. You'll see that there's a Discord suggestions channel where you can actually be like, yo, I want to see this in the Discord. You're confused, just post it in general. Like, honestly, I'm not going to yell at you if you post something in the wrong channel. I realized as I was cleaning up the Discord, Lolo had been posting some free colouring pages in one of the colouring channels, because I hadn't specified the difference between Colour and Chaos and Artist Freebies. So Artist Freebies is like free stuff, like free colouring pages and that. Whereas Colour and Chaos is just like weird and cool colouring books and stuff like that. So, you know, and it's like, it's totally fine. It was on me. I didn't clarify what was what. And it's like, it's all good. You're still posting. I'll just copy it over to the other channel. I'm never going to be like, you're posting in the wrong channel. No, you're posting. It's cool. It's cool to see you're interacting with my Discord. So please keep posting. Just, you know, post in here next time. Because again, that's just trying to keep that organization and keep those conversations in appropriate places, because like we're over 40 people in the Discord now. So if like 5 of you come on and have massive long conversations, which please do, it's awesome. But then like if we've got other groups trying to have a conversation, like if someone's trying to talk about the D&D movie with someone in general, while someone's talking about their pet and then someone's showing some art that they've done, it's just going to get lost. So it's like, let's have some separate channels, and you can talk about these in the channels, which keeps your conversations together. And yeah, Amy's rambling. I'm rambling. Hi, Ryder. I hate when I mean to buy seedless grapes, but instead I accidentally buy cupcakes. Yeah, I don't see how that happens, but also delicious. Fad! Hello! You are doing excellent with the Discord, Fad. You are doing absolutely wonderful. I am so proud with how far you've come along with the Discord, because I know how nervous you were to begin with, so you're doing absolutely fantastic. I like learning about Discord, so thank you for the explanation. You're welcome. Anytime. Anytime. I am, like I said, I am not the world's biggest expert on it. I am learning a lot myself. There's still other things that I want to do with the Discord. I think I need to change this light today. It's just too bright. Too direct. No, we still want that angle. You want it less bright. There we go. Less shiny. Less shiny. But yeah, I'm still learning myself, but if I can help, if I can explain something, I will. And if I can't explain something, I know who to go ask to help me explain it. So yeah, these, like, one of the big things that I did recently, which I'm now realizing you may not be aware of what I was meaning when I said this, is I set up a audio bot so that we can do hangouts. So when I want to hang out and chat, but I don't feel like doing the live streaming, we can hang out on the Discord and you can all talk. It's not just me talking on those ones. And you can turn on your cameras if you have a camera, and you can show what you're doing if you want to. You don't have to at all. You can just hang. But I sorted out a bot so we could also have music playing, and I don't have to worry about copyright on there, so it's fine. And this bot just plays my Spotify playlist. So I also set up a collaborative Spotify playlist, and one of the things you might have seen is me saying that the Spotify playlist is now pinned in the Music That Makes You Move channel. So you may not know what a pin is when I'm saying I've pinned a comment, but if you look in any of the channels in the top right, there is a little safety pin. And if you click that, if a message is pinned in this channel, it appears in a list up there. It's basically like a way of just saying this is an important message that we don't want to lose in the chaos of this channel. So if you go to the Music That Moves You channel and go to the pins, there is a Spotify link to a certain playlist that you can add to for our hangs. Right, I have missed a bunch of chat in explaining that, but yeah, so that's what a pin is. So when I'm talking about a pinned comment, that's what a pin is in the Discord. Right. I'm just happy I got to post peacock spiders and nudie branches and fungi and snails. I am so glad you did. It's not just the beautiful photos that you pick, but it's the detailed explanation that you do, which I know you spend a lot of time writing those details explanations out, but you have a really good way of explaining it. So it's just so fascinating, and I love learning it. I need to taste some photos of Tama because it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Tama. And yes, to more work in progresses. I would love to see your colouring page. No pressure, but I'd love to see your colouring page, bud. For some reason, the lighting changes brought out the shading really well. It has, because it was overly bright and I forgot to turn my light down. I love to share the peacock spiders. Did you find the YMCA video? I did not. Samsara! Hey, beautiful. I hope your holiday's going well. Just dropping in to see you and your lovely troll. Should probably do some work on it, eh? So Lone, just so you know, Samsara shortens to Sammy, or Samsara, not Sam. So Sam is entirely different people. In fact, I met yet another Sam yesterday, which brings... I was trying to actually legit work this out, the amount of Sam or Sam adjacent names like Samsara, Samantha, Sammy D, which is technically a car. But I was trying to calculate it and I lost count of how many Sams I know. It is ridiculous. I love it. All the Sams, and they're all wonderful people. So, like, if somebody came in with a username that I didn't know and goes, "Hi, it's Sam," I would be like, "Which one?" Which one? No, that's okay, Lone. You just didn't know, but just then you know that, yeah, Samsara either shortens to Sammy or Samsara. No worries, son. No worries. If I see it, I will correct it, because I know. It also makes it easier for my brain, because Sam is other people. So, and if they start, you know, I also know why. So, like I said, if I see it, I'll spot it, and I'll correct it. And Lone, I just know it came from a place of genuinely not knowing. So it's okay. Now you know. Managed to snag the last clearance sale pencil wrap. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I was trying to find the cases that I use, because I do need to get another one of them anyway. Not that I can afford it right now, but I was trying to find them and I couldn't find any of them. I did, however, find a 250 pencil case, and I was like, I have 120 Crayolas pencils, and then I have 120 Crayola super tip markers, so I could make a Crayola case, or I could put my 120 Crayolas and my 60 Faber-Castells, and then get the Faber-Castell classic colors. I'm talking here, the Faber-Castell 60 set of classic colors, and then get the 60 set of Faber-Castell water soluble classic colors, and then just make like a student quality pencil case as well. But yeah, I was looking at all these beautiful things, and I know that like there's going to be a lot of places doing Easter sales, and I'm like, nope, we have a few important things to get. Number one, I have to get hair dye. I have to get hair dye even more. Like, this regrowth is ridiculous. Like, I have a blue pony and natural hair, and the hair ain't even blue now. Like, this is fully green. We're fully into green now, so hair dye is a must. But as some of you might have seen in the Small Victories post in the Discord, I really have to get hair dye now because I have graduation next month. And I will be getting my Bachelor in Applied Science and Psychology that I've been studying remotely for, while also working in a lab during a global pandemic, and then also dealing with a diagnosis and major chronic illness. And so I got a phone call from my school, which I ignored the first two because I thought it was more spam callers, because we all know I've been having issues with spam callers on my phone. But then I googled the number because they were ringing a lot, and I was like, okay, maybe this is important. Saw it was the school, answered it, and yeah, it was the graduation coordinator who wants me to be the graduate speaker. And this is like such a huge freaking honor. This is massive because I am representing my entire graduating class. Like, hugely amazing honor to be the one chosen out of, I think it's like 200 students that are graduating at the Auckland one. Like, it's a lot of students. It's so incredible. I can't remember how many students it is, like, because there's technically free graduations around the country, because my school is a distance school, so they do free graduation ceremony. So I'm speaking at the Auckland one. So yeah, now I like really need to dye my hair, because obviously, like, I wanted my hair nice and fresh and blue for graduation anyway, but now it's like I really need to like step up the look. But then I was like looking at all my makeup, which I need to also, like, I'm almost out of foundation, I'm almost out of mascara, so I'm like, I'm gonna need to buy all that. And then I'm almost out of face wash, and I need to buy all that. And I'm just like looking at all these things, and I'm gonna buy a bus trip or pay somehow to get to Auckland. Me and my mum are still working that out. I've also got to pay for a new disability parking card. I'm just looking at all these things and going, huh. And then I'm just seeing this list of all these colouring books that are available, and I keep finding all these bargain colouring books, and I'm just like, this is not the month, this is not the month, this is not the month. But we will get there. I always find a way. I will manage, because that's just me. You find a way. But I'm just like, I want to buy all the pretties. I want to buy all the pretties. I want to buy more Inktense pencils. I know that a bunch, like the Liquitex ink that I've been loving, I know that's coming up on sale for Easter more than likely. It's just like all the pretties, and I'm like, I just want them all. But that's okay. That's okay. You also have to re-blue yours soon. Yes. Been struggling with nicknames on Twitch. Yeah. Of Matt's and Nick's. Well, there you go. It's funny how everyone has like that one name that just seems really common. Amy is a really common name as well, which is annoying at times, but fine. But yeah, yeah. It's like, at least with Twitch you've got the names on screen. Oh, thank you, Fud. Oh, that's lovely. No, that's quite alright. If you find it and you want to pass it on, you know I'm willing to take it and will gladly colour in it, and more than happy to flip you some bucks to cover the postage, but absolutely no rush at all with that. I mean, I have over 100 colouring books now. I'm not stuck for colouring books. I just really like colouring books. But yes, I am excited. The graduation will be live streamed, so if you're randomly interested in watching a live stream, they put up a YouTube video of the speech later on too, so if you're interested, it's going to be available for you to watch. You don't have to. I don't expect any of you to. That being said, if you've ever wanted to see a puffity or like a traditional Māori greeting or Pacifica greeting, depending who they have performing at the ceremony, they're really quite moving, because as us graduates enter into the hall, they do a puffity to welcome us into the auditorium as part of the ceremony. So there's this really beautiful waiata, and then like depending who they have. So I was watching the 2022 graduates just to see the speech and stuff. It was recommended to me by this school, and they had a full-on local iwi performing a traditional Māori puwhiri. But then the year before, in 2021, when I actually had my diploma graduation, which I did go up for to celebrate, because I was like, this is still pretty cool. Even though it wasn't my bachelor, I was like, I'm going to celebrate getting a diploma and getting that halfway step. And in that year, they actually had a Pacifica group do the puwhiri, and then they were working on the drums and blowing into a shell. So it was a different vibe, but it was really cool. And it was quite good too when they were doing the Drums of the Ocean song, because there was a lot of graduates, because the graduation in 2020 had been cancelled. So they had a double graduation in 2021. It was so long. So long. But yes, I am excited. And I'm excited because Samsara is going to come up from Gisborne and also be there at graduation with me, which is lovely. And I'll get to meet a bunch of my tutors in person, and even more so now because they're going to take some time to get to like speak with me before the ceremony and after the ceremony. And you know, I get my cap and gown with the little hood, and it's blue, so it's perfect. Yeah, I have a lot of books. But, you know, it's my sort of thing. Like, it's not like I'm not using them. Like, yes, there are a bunch of them that are unworked, but it's my thing. And we all have a thing. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay that I am a colouring book collector. I also spend a lot of time scouring for bargains. So like last month I think I brought 11 books in total, but 7 of them were actually second hand from a local person because I found a bunch being sold. And I got these colouring books for like $8.50 a piece, and some of them, like one of them I know retails for $50 at Gordon Harris, and then one of them was like a dream piece. Like, I don't think I'll colour in it. So the artist that I'm working on is Kerby Rosanes. And Kerby's really special to me because this was the artist that made me fall back in love with colouring. So he has a bunch of colouring books that are well known. So Mythomorphia that I'm working in. His latest is Alien Worlds, which I'm also working in. So this is Alien Worlds, and I've been starting this piece here. So this is all about aliens in space, and it's really cool. Like, I like it because it's very different to what he does, and I like the way that each section works is a section of a different planet, and like there's no wrong colours with this one. You can do whatever because it's aliens. There are no rules. So yeah, I think this one's really cool. The paper's a lot thinner, which is sad, because like this is quite buckly. Like, I don't mind the buckle, but it has not handled the wet media as well as the other books do. But then he has his first ever colouring book, which is so different to everything else he did, was Due to Invasion. And I never thought I would find this colouring book in New Zealand. Like, it's not easily available. It is. Yeah, so this for me is an absolute collection piece. I don't see myself colouring this. It's completely different in terms of style to everything else he does. That being said, it is freaking cute. But it's an absolute collection piece. Now, because it was second hand, I thought it was unworked in, but one has started to be coloured. So maybe I will work in it. Also, the person that started colouring this did a fantastic job. So I kind of want to finish this one. I thought it was unworked, but there was one page started. But yeah, this is like an absolute dream piece for me. Even though it's second hand and had a page worked in, I don't care. That's not going to go back easily on the shelf. I'll put that back later. And yeah, so like I looked at trying to bring that one in from overseas, and I was looking about $80 or $90, and I'm not willing to pay that for a colouring book, like even for a dream piece. And when I was randomly browsing, that was the piece that was part of this collection. I was like, I need this. And then she had a bunch of other really cool ones. So I was like, I'll grab all of these. Well, not all of them. She had some double arts. She also had some extra Kerbys. So like Anamorphia and Mythomorphia, which I already had. So I didn't need those ones, for example. And yeah, she was really lovely about splitting up the bundles so that I could actually pick out the colouring books that I wanted. Right, up here was where I was trying to work. Because this little section here is just a bit flat. I think in my dream last night there were colouring books, like a bunch of secondhand colouring books, and I was going through them. Ooh. I mean, is that a bad dream? so there is our tree, just a little bit better defined. So I do have my black, and I will probably go through and darken some areas in a moment. I am also going to darken the bottom of these trees, which I did say when I was filming the tutorial on how to do the background, which will be going up on my YouTube channel. So if you do want to, you know, learn about how to do a foresty background, it's going to be on YouTube in the next couple of days. I think Sunday is when the first one will go up. The last VOD of the last live stream went up today. Tomorrow is about the gilding flakes experiment, and then yeah, it'll be part 1 and part 2 of the tutorial, and then the next VOD of this, and then it should be Alien World starting to go up. So by then, hopefully I would have done a bit more. That's the plan anyway. It's pretty nice. I'm really loving this page. Yeah, I am really loving how it comes together as well. When we go back in, so I have a big task to do once we finish the leaves. We will start to pull out some greys, and we're going to start adding a few more shadows into everything, because we've got most of what we need in there. We just need to push things a little further, because that contrast is really what will help it just read that much more. So it's just about creating contrast. Obviously, we've got these 3 elements to finish. Once we add the contrast in, and then we also have the light and the light reflex to do. But yeah, it's like we can finish this today if I don't get too distracted. That's a big if. We all know how I am. So I'm just using the chrome oxide green. And we are just going to add some tones to our leaves. Oh. Rainbow was a good choice. Peeps made a good choice. Oh my gosh. So Mum's at a market. She's just messaged that she's already had a bracelet and a necklace knit. People suck. My mum makes jewellery at a local and sells at a local market, and because of the way it was set up today, she's had to set up in a way which makes it difficult for her to watch all the tables. Oh. They really do. They really do. But some people are lovely. I got to spend the day with Haunted Sandwich yesterday, who came down for their friend Sam art gallery exhibition. So we met for a coffee. We spent a couple of hours at a local cafe. And we all just kind of arted for a while as we chatted, and it was really nice. It was really chill. I also learned, I've been to this cafe a number of times, and I normally just order black coffee, because when I look at the coffee menu, I just look till I see black coffee, and then I stop, because I like black coffee and nothing else. Like, I don't need anything else. I just have black coffee. And when I was in there and I was going up to get another coffee, I happened to see on their list they have a thing called the bucket, and I was like, is that literally a bucket of coffee? And they pull out the cup, and it's massive. And I'm like, oh my god, you have an AB cup of coffee. It is a 4-shot coffee. And it's like their long blacks are pretty short blacks. They don't put a lot of water into their blacks. It's just a shot of coffee with a little bit extra water. So they're pretty tiny. And this cup is like this. And I'm like, oh my god, it's an AB coffee. But at that point, I'd already I was getting my final coffee. So it's like, I probably shouldn't order a 4-shot coffee. But next time, I don't need to order a long black. I need to order the bucket. So now I love this cafe even more because they have a bucket of coffee. Someone stole your entire donations box. Just, ugh. Why? Like, I get it. I get that things are tight, but also, no. And like, when things are so tight that people are stealing diapers, you have to have a second look, but also, you know, there's things out there to help you for that. Like, but when people are snicking like jewelry or, you know, not those essential items, like when it's essential items, I'm not saying it's okay, but if you're at a point of that, I mean, obviously something's going on and you're desperate, so reach out and get those help. Like, that's why, you know, assistant grants are there. That's why charities are there, as much as it sucks to ask for help sometimes. But when people are nicking just like things for the thrill of it, it's like you're actually costing so much more than you anticipate. Yeah. And like when they're nicking, like I was in the library once and I was hearing these people talk about just pinching stuff from market stalls because they thought it was funny. And I was like, you do realize that market stalls are generally like one person scraping by in a hobby business just trying to make some extra pocket money. Like, you're really screwing over somebody there, because most people with market stalls, they have such little profit on their stuff. Like, you might be costing them the entire day's profit nicking this one item. Just, ugh. No. And like, so one of my favorite charity shops here in New Plymouth, if you are like, I've been in there before where somebody's come in and they're like flat broke and they're really embarrassed, but they've gone to the shop owner and explained because they're a beneficiary and they've got a job interview and they're just flat broke, and I guess they didn't want to do the once ask for money situation, which I get, because oh my god, that process is horrendous to try and get the interview approval stuff. But they were like, I just need an outfit for an interview, and she was like, yep, let's go to the racks, and they just pulled the clothes off the racks. They're like, here you go, you know, gave them straight off the racks just some really nice clothes so that they could go for a job interview. Like, I've seen it before where one of the homeless people came in and, you know, their blanket that they wear to keep warm in town was getting a bit ratty, and without question they just pulled out a blanket for them. And were like, here you go, do you need some new shoes while you're at it? And just went and got them a pair of shoes off the racks. Like, it's the same thing. There's a couple of cafes around here where there's a couple of homeless people that will live, they don't live, but they will hang around here a lot, because there's a Koha cafe, which is a pay what you can cafe. I mean, it's not great food, but it's also very cheap, especially if you're struggling. And they've got a really wonderful little area set up. And when you order your tea or coffee, you can also order a chat, because they have people there just to talk to you if you just need some chill out time or somebody to talk to. But yeah, a couple of the people will pop in there because they know that they can get a feed. And they just give them a feed, you know? Yes, exactly. Exactly. There's a few places that do that as well. I love there's a little bookstore around the corner from me. And he'll put out a box of free books. And the books that are like they're damaged, are clearly not great copies to sell, but they're still readable books. And sometimes he's put out books that are just like really, really tattered and bad, but they're really great crafting projects. He put out a bunch of kids' books a while ago that were like the kids had ripped a couple of pages out, so they weren't complete books. So obviously he wasn't able to sell them. So he just chucked them out in a free box, and I grabbed them for my niece when she was like a couple months old, because she was like loving books at that age, but clearly couldn't read, but she just liked the pictures. And I was like, well, the pictures are fine. She's gonna love the pictures, and she did, because it was a book about bees. I'm like, that's fine. So yeah, you know, like that whole reduce, reuse, recycle motto as well. And I've done that before where, like the secondhand shop had a bunch of just like random bits, like little pieces of lace, a couple of stickers, and I was talking to the shop owner, and I'm like, you do realize that if you bundled that up, like that's the kind of stuff us scrapbookers go crazy for, because it's just a mixed lot of random stuff that we could add to our pages. And so yeah, I've started making these mixed junk lots essentially. It'll be like, you know, a scrapbook is dropping off just those, if you've ever done like scrapbooking or art journaling, and you've got like a sticker sheet and you've got one sticker left on the sheet that you haven't used, but you haven't found the right space for it, so they've just cleared it out into this bundle, and then they'll just make these bundles of odd bits, but they're so fun because you never know what you're gonna get. Pizza Butter! Hello, how are you, hun? It's so good to see you. And thank you. We are getting there. We are definitely getting there. We are just now creating some shadows, pushing some tones. I am trying to get some work done because I want to finish this today. But of course I'm getting distracted, but we don't mind distractions because we love distractions. Almost done with the first marker layer. Excellent. Not sure how dark to make the sky. I mean, start light because you can always darken. It's hard to lighten. Hey, you missed the start? No, that's fine. You missed me having ultimate internet issues and the whole stream crashing. Good times. It's been a while since I've had that big of an internet oops. What else did we talk about? Oh, we talked about how I got a little thank you package from the charity stream that I helped out with, the fantasy fundraiser where they play D&D. And so I got a bunch of Honor Among Thieves, the D&D movie merch. I got some free tickets to the movie, which is great. So now I get to see the movie. I got a beanie. And I got this really freaking cool satchel. I was not expecting any of this. It's absolutely amazing. The satchel is ultimately, definitely my favourite part because it's such a perfect satchel. No, I put it on my trolley. What else did we talk about? We talked about my graduation and the fact that I am the graduate speaker at graduation, which is exciting and amazing. Yeah, I was not expecting a thank you gift at all. So it's like, when they asked for my address, I was just like, oh, maybe they're sending a card. And then I was like a little hopeful that maybe it was some tickets because I knew they had a lot of movie tickets to give away. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm getting some tickets. Was not expecting the satchel. Was not expecting a beanie. The beanie just fits my giant head, but the satchel is amazing. Yeah. Gosh, we've already talked about a bunch of stuff and I can't remember what we've talked about. Oh yeah, I was saying, so my mum is currently doing a market And so at about 12:30-ish, so about an hour, I do need to run her a coffee. So we need to decide if I put you on my walking frame and take you over to the market and you can come hang out in the market for a while, or I can put up words on stream, which is like a game that you can actually play in the chat. It's like a word guessing game. So just depends what people would like to do. Yeah, unfortunately, Tiltify only has that option, which is good because it, you know, stops people. It's an international platform, so they kind of have to do it that way. Like if they were doing, you can't do bank transfers, even though it was for a local charity. Tiltify is an international platform, so yeah, we can't. It'd be nice if they would do PayPal, but I guess maybe that's hard to integrate for charity. I'm not sure. Yeah. Sorry, just checking up on coffee delivery. All of that can wait. Alright, so we're just using our black to darken down the bottom here because this would be quite a bit darker. So, like I said, we do need to push our contrast a little bit. And because I'm using the polychromos, they are, you know, they've got a bit of transparency. So, it's just kind of like a glazing layer, but in pencil. And then, some of these trees that I painted, just going to darken the bottoms of, which I did explain when I was recording the background tutorial that I would be also adding in some pencil onto the bottom of these trees just to darken them a bit and just help define this foreground from the background. Yeah, I love using direct black. Like, I know you're not meant to for, like, and I'm just like, nah, black works. Black's good. Black adds a contrast. I am completely off screen, I just realized. You can see the difference though. So I haven't worked this side and I have worked this side, and we've immediately got a lot more contrast, but also it's going to help those mushrooms pop forward a bit more, which also we need to do. So we've got down here that would be in shadow. I'm just going to put a little bit under our cinnamon roll just to make cinnamon roll pop that a little bit more as well. So yeah, already starting to get that little bit more contrast in there. Currently playing Yarn Chicken. Oh no! Yarn Chicken is when you are running towards the end of a skein and you're not sure you're going to be able to finish the row with the skein you've got. So you're battling the yarn to see if you can make it to the end, and it's like, yeah, are you going to run out of yarn? Are you pushing this too far? Should you just stop? Are you going to waste all your time? You're playing chicken. Do you just give up and switch to a different color, a different skein, or change your rows early? Yarn Chicken. But it is so satisfying when you win. and you do manage to make it just to the end of the row with your little skein, you're like, I win, I beat you, yarn. Oi, oi, oi. I'm literally drinking caffeine in the form of an energy drink, and here I am yawning. No. Right. So we're doing the same thing with our dark green again. And we're just going to darken up some of these back areas that need it. I already see that this section here should have a lot more brown in it. Just bring that up a bit more. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yarn chicken, media chicken. I get that with like paint as well. Like, did I pull out enough paint? Did I mix enough paint? Did I mix enough ink? Should I have mixed more ink? Should I just mix more ink now so I can blend in the color difference, because it's going to be different? It's like, this is meant to be our relaxing hobby and it's stressing me out. Oh. Hey, as long as the dog was having fun though. Oh, I think I need to blow my nose, which is perfect timing because we are just about to head into our ad break. And I do need to stretch. So yeah, just a reminder that we run these ad breaks once an hour, except for when my computer poops itself. It is a reminder to stretch and hydrate and grab a snack if you need a snack, have a stretch, you know, do a bit of self-care. It also helps keep away the dreaded pre-rolls. And it's also a free way to support me because I do earn a little bit of money from these ads. It really is not a lot, but it all adds up, and it's just a free way to support the stream that doesn't cost anything more than just a couple minutes of your time. So I do thank you for sitting through the ads. They should be starting any moment now, and I will see you on the other side. Ooh. And to those of you that get ad-free viewing, welcome to the secret behind the scenes where we stretch. Ugh. And we're going to see if I can find my tissues and blow my nose, because my nose is really starting to annoy me. That's a paper towel, but it'll do. It'll do. Freaking allergies. The allergies be strong at the moment. Alright, most of that can wait. Go hi! Hello! We are just in one of our hourly ad breaks, so hopefully you did not join into an ad, but if you did, apologies, and also you're not hearing this at all. Your dog knows how to jump through hoops when there are treats involved. I will jump through a lot of things for treats. You hear? Oh, how yes. How yes. Treats be good. Yeah. Do you remember when they made us do push-ups in PE and I broke my arm? I told the teacher too. So, I'm gonna hurt myself doing this. I did 8 push-ups. And we went to the doctor later on and I broke my arm. Weak wrists! Weak wrists crew! Honestly, part of the reason why I loved guitar lessons so much was that they always coincided with PE, so I didn't have to do PE. Freaking hated PE. I did. I think the teacher felt really guilty as well. It was great. Alright. Welcome back. Thank you to anyone who had to sit through those ad breaks. I forever appreciate you. But for now, if I can find my extenders, because where is anything on my desk at the moment? Honestly, it's chaos. So we're going to use our nougat. We're going to sharpen it to begin. Right? Yep. Or like, oh, it's swimming day? Oh no. No, I forgot my togs. I guess I'll have to write lines. Yeah, it's such a line. It's such a punishment to sit at a desk and write lines instead of going in that cold pool with the manky changing rooms and oh no, I'm so sad. Well, what would you wear if you weren't wearing gym clothes? You can't do gym naked in high school. I would hope you wouldn't anyway. See, we didn't have like a dedicated gym outfit. We just like kind of had like, you should be wearing this, I think. Gosh, I can't even remember. It's been that long. Pretty sure we didn't have like we had an actual school uniform that we had to wear. I'm pretty sure at gym class it was like, just wear shorts and a t-shirt. Oh, excuse me. Oh. It be allergy season. Oh, they've been building up for a while though, so I feel a lot better now. Cool. Alright, so that's just to help tie in that base and just help clean up any edges where, when I was doing the trees, I might have gone over a bit too much. So now I'm just pulling out some warm greys. And we're just going to use this to, once again, darken the base of our stalks and use this sort of like a shadow tone. So anywhere I want to push the shadows on these mushrooms. Oh god, am I going to need to blow my nose again? I just realised I did all the ground mushrooms and I totally forgot about the mushrooms growing on their head. Good job, Amy. That's fine. Alright, while we're here, we're also gonna just darken a little bit of the snail. Just that sort of bottom section where the light wouldn't be hitting. Because we did so much work on the base of this piece, this is so quick. Because it's really just doing a smooth little glaze layer over. I love it. Alright, now the mushrooms on the top of the head that I totally forgot about. So yeah, we're just sort of defining, cleaning, adding in anything that might be needed, pushing out any darks. Use that one. I don't know why I'm holding on to it. Oh, where'd my tissue go? Yeah. Right, sorry, just gotta blow. think I can breathe for the moment. So I hated PE, but I liked your martial arts classes, yeah. See, I just didn't do any sports. I just wasn't interested. It's like, why would I do sports? It involves like sweating and running around and gross, and it makes me feel itchy, and then everything hurts, and then my joints swell up, and I don't really know why, and know why now. Was not a fan. 10 out of 10, would not recommend again. Archery? Oh, we never did archery. That would have been so cool. Probably would have been a lot more interested in PE if we could do archery. I remember doing push-ups. I remember swimming. I remember rugby. Ugh, just did not care about rugby. I remember running laps. Alright, so we're going to use the same grey to just start pushing certain areas that may need a bit more push. We have a bit more control with this than we do with the water media, though it's not bad. We've done pretty well with this, so we don't have a lot to do. The big thing we have to do is the eyes, and in here it does need a little bit more. Alright, so I am going to need your colour suggestions for our burb, because we have a burb to do and I don't know what colour to do our burb. So if you have a suggestion for the burb, lay it on me. First off, you're flat, so you need charging, and I've just seen 2 leaves that I have missed entirely, which is why I leave everything all over my desk, so that I can colour in things that I miss and discover along the way. So yeah, I'm just adding some tone to the eyes, because the eyes were very flat, so I've got a bit of shading now. Clean that out and differentiate a little bit in there, because that would be dark. Need our black in here, we need to push this a lot more. Meh, dropping the pencils. That's great for the cause. They're fine. Excuse me. Just arrows, no run. Heck yeah. Still shoot, but don't complete that. That's cool. I don't think I could even do, like, archery now, even if I could access to do it. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't have the strength in my arms to do that now. You're in a bit of shadow, so we do need to darken in here, because you'd have a bit of shadow. Cool. Alright, let's pull out our brace. And then let's just add a layer with the brown. Because we've got a playing card to cover up. Frickin' playing cards. Over here's angry that school didn't have archery. My school didn't either, Ryder. You can build it up? Okay. I mean, the other thing as well is I kind of don't stand very well without balancing on something, so I'd also have to sit shooting down, which I believe you can do anyway, so. That we're catching on. A little playing card. Dialed down so it's not a focus because we don't want it to be a focus. Alright, verbs. Verbs. We could do it green to keep with the greens. One of the things we did talk about doing was having the lantern have blue light, and if I do that, maybe I could make the bird red so it's got that contrast. I do kind of like the idea of doing red. Oh, the lefties. I'm sorry, I'm a righty. Though I can use my left for some stuff due to the amount of times I broke my arm. I learned to use a lot of my left, so I can write with my left, but I cannot sketch and draw as well with my left. Yeah, I think we're going to do red for the verb, because then we can use our browns as well to shade, so I think red is a good option. Hope you like it. Too bad if you don't. I'm doing it anyway. could technically pull in a few different colours and spend a while on this and add all these different tones. But also, the burb is not our focus. Like, the burb is here, the burb is cool, the burb be chilling. We dig the bird, we dig the vibes. You're not the focus of this piece. So, you just get one colour. You just get red. And I'm sorry if you're not happy with it, but that's what you get. We'll maybe do your chest blue for second colour. Bird time. Teach below us how to start doing. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just general safety though, isn't it? Because you don't want people going and getting their arrows while other people are firing all across the field and, you know, murder and death and all sorts. Probably not a wise idea. Bird. Alright. Candle. Candle. Now, do I pull out metallic paints and paint it actually metallic like a metal? Do I just shade it? Obviously, we've got the light to consider and the colour of the light, which I'm thinking we are going to do the light blue. I like the concept of doing the light blue. I feel like it'll work quite well. Okay, they just became so much more intense by adding over a pencil layer. We might just quickly also go over all our mushrooms with a colour, because that just becomes so much more vibrant than that. A yellow, a pink, a purple, and a blue. Meh. Honestly, I chose the worst washi tape to mark my pencils with. Was that the one where we had the self-defense lesson, Fud? Because I still remember that lesson on what to do if somebody attacks you from behind and holds a knife to your throat. It's like the one thing I remember from PE very clearly, because it's like, this is important information. The world is scary. Oh my gosh, the mushrooms are just so much more vibrant now. So much more like, boom, we're here and we're rainbow. Well done, Fud. Well done, Fud. Yeah, I think it might be the same one that we're thinking about, because I remember those pads and I was like, my wrist hurt after like the first punch and they were still making me punch. And I'm like, yeah, last time I was forced to do something like this, I broke my arm. Okay. Yay, the mushrooms actually are like, boom now. So, I don't think I want to pull out the metallic paints. Like, I could add more glitter and sparkle in that, but I think I actually want to keep the lantern itself brown, just to really keep in with all these tones that we've been doing. So, we're just going to go really boring. I'm just going to chuck everything over with a brown glaze. Just do another brown glaze. And we're going to use a warmer brown just to sort of bring it together. And we've got our dark sepia. And so keeping in mind that this is our light, so this is where it's going to be brightest. So where is that light being hit? So this would have edge shadow, because underneath would be, so the light would have bounced, but then if that ridge was poking out, it would be lit, and then up here would be in shadow. So we'll just little under here, and then this would be the same. Oh gosh, I can only imagine. Whew. Alright, and we're going to pull out our black. Just use this to really push some of those shadows. I'm sorry, I am reading chat, but it's also fascinating to see all your stories, so I'm just reading your stories and completely engrossed in them. Oh, I love it. I love not having to talk because you're just still telling the stories. Please, keep telling the stories. Right. There's our lantern. Easy peasy. Here's a candle. Now we have to work out those colours. So, if we're doing blue magical glow, we're going to start by not knocking our light too much and actually picking up our pencil case, please. Come on, hands. I'm going to start by pulling out some blues from the right section. So, just going to bring this in, shade around our candle, which we're going to make pop even more in a moment. Still got the violet, but the other thing we need to do is add some green tint to this blue because it would be also see-through and picking up the colours of the forest. Now we add back in our blue. Don't put those in your mouth. It's going to put it in to hold in place. I've got 3 pencils and one of them would have stabbed in my mouth. Smart move, Amy. Alright, so I am going to just set up a little poll, let's say 5 minutes. So like I said, I have to take Mum over a coffee soon, and so while I am doing that, what would you like to happen? Would you like to go on a tour of the market with me? Would you like to just stay here and play Words on Stream while I run Mum a coffee? Or should I just end the stream for like half an hour to an hour? Although honestly, it's probably like only going to take me half an hour at the most, like 15 minutes if I'm just straight running it to her. 15 minutes if we're just doing Words on Stream because I'll run. Half an hour if I maybe take you around the market. If I end stream, we're going to take at least an hour break. Like, I'm going to have some proper lunch, proper break, and then we'll come back. Because again, I don't have any work tonight, so we have time. Like, we can keep hanging out here. So make sure you click that poll and vote for what you'd like. So now we're just using our white Posca, and we're just going to colour in this flame a bright white because it may be a blue light, but the flame is going to be white because it's our brightest. And then what I have is some Poscas, and I'm probably going to need my scalpel to open these because I can't open these otherwise. Where the heck is my scalpel? Not in its protection case, which is very, very dangerous, Amy. Why that is down there, I don't know. Sorry. It could be Mum going, so can I have a coffee soon, please? Not too bothered to have a screens this afternoon. Oh, good. So what I have here are the colours Glacier Blue. Let's actually put that away. And what is this one? Light Blue. Well, that makes sense. New Poscas. Why do I never have scrap paper around here? We go through this every time. Every time. And I'm like, where is some scrap paper? Once again, we're pulling out the envelope. Which colour's going to be first? What's going to win? New Poscas. Oh, it looks like the Glacier Blue is winning. Right, Glacier Blue is activated. Come on, Light Blue. There we go. Ooh, despite the darker tip, you're actually lighter in colour. Funny that. Funny that. This is why we test. Alright. So, around this flame, we're just going to do our light blue. And then our Glacier Blue, I'm going to use on the glass here. Just as some glass reflex. And to be honest, I might even go over that with white. We'll decide that later on. What I do need is my black, because I've gone just slightly too high up with this Posca, and we can cover that up. Alright. So, there is our little lantern done. Flying through this. So now, we can start on some of our mushroom dots. So this Posca that I'm using is kind of getting towards the end of its lifespan. It's not got the most ink in it, so it actually comes out slightly translucent, which is actually perfect for what I want, because then it'll pick up some of those undertones that we spent so long creating, because we don't lose all that work. And then when I go over it with the create the blue light from the lantern, it'll start to come together. I don't know if mushrooms have lines, but this mushroom's going to have a line pattern, because why not? Couple of dots on that one. This one's also going to have the lines. Couple of dots. View results. Oh. Well, very clearly you would all like to come to market with me, so good to know. To the market we shall go. And marketing we shall go. So I'm just going to put all this Posca down, because that'll give it a chance to sort of set and dry while I make Mum her coffee. And then we will switch you over. Oh, hydrate. Absolutely. I should hydrate with more than just energy drink. Double hydrate. On it. On it, on it, on it. More, more. Thank you. Yeah, so creativity points are just points that you earn for watching. And they can be redeemed for just some fun stream interactions. It's just like a little way to interact with stream. So you can do like sound alerts, which will make things pop up and speak, or sounds. Yeah, I will do like oracle card readings. You can force me to hydrate. You can check in with chat to make sure everyone's taking their meds. Remind me to take a stretch. Just lots of little like interaction things. But right, so we want to leave it at this point. So this is where we are at. We are going to stop, and I'm just going to check everyone's ready. Cool. All right. Lacey, hi. You've joined us just at interesting times. So, as I was saying, my mum is at a market and I need to run her over a coffee. So we're going to switch to just chatting, and we're going to do a little bit of a market tour. Right, so now we have the light reflex. So this is our light source, and we're doing a blue light glow. So the first thing we need to do is our direct glow from the lamp. So we are working with Prismacolors. So this is a new pencil that we're adding to the page. But the Prismacolors are beautiful and opaque, but also layer really nicely on top of the pencil we've already laid down. So, ice cream is good, and you should go and thoroughly enjoy that. So right now I am working with Cloud Blue to create the glow of our lamp. And then I also have some Blue Violet Lake, which we can start to work in as well. And so this will be more like our blender tone, where we just want to darken it out a bit. But obviously around here, the light is going to be most intense because this is directly where the light is coming from. And in fact, I am also going to grab a white. Let's ask who they haven't pooped. Yeah. Yep, you are right, bud. Every time they come and see you in hospital, when was your last bowel motion? You haven't had a bowel motion. We're a little worried about you not having a bowel motion. It's like, it's fine. Oh gosh, yeah. It is very good to turn up at hospital, not have to worry about insurance. You just have to worry about being able to get a bed. But yes, I'm very grateful that we do actually have a free health system here, or mostly free. It's not fully subsidized, so like when you go to the GP and stuff, you still pay a slight surcharge depending on where your GP is and whether or not you have a community services card, which allows you to access things for even cheaper. So I think that's the equivalent of like your copay. Depending on the service is how much you're charged. But the hospital, like, you know, when I was in my car accident and I went into hospital, I didn't go to hospital. When the ambulance came out and checked me over, there was no cost for that, even though a full ambulance came out and then they drove me back, and like the police and stuff. So absolutely valid, Lone. Make sure you stretch your hands because, you know, you don't want to get RSI. Do some good stretches, relax that hand, and then you can go back to it. People get real nervous when they come to the laboratory with their samples and they're like, oh my god. It's like, we deal with this all day. Like, it's fine. You know, we don't even bat an eyelid at a fecal sample. That is absolutely normal. Everybody poops. Absolutely normal. It's when we get like entire legs that maybe we do a double take and go, whoa, that's a bit different. Alright, so now we're starting to work with these colors, and we're going to start doing our light etch. So this will look a bit interesting on the yellow because the yellow is actually lighter than the blue tone, so it almost looks like a shadow, but we're actually just doing some reflected light because this is going to be getting quite a bit of light from our little light over here. In fact, I'm thinking we're going to extend this out just a little bit more, a bit lighter though. We've got quite a solid opaque glow there, so we're just going to bring this out a bit more. branch would be obviously getting hit pretty intensely because it's right here. Same with our leaves. And what we might even do is we might even pull out poscas to give us a really intense edge as well. Because again, this is where our light is the brightest. So this is where we're getting the most direct glow. And then before that posca sets, we just smush it out a bit with a pencil. So now that we're moving away from the direct light, we're going to start using a cloud blue. We already need to sharpen it. So unfortunately, with the prismas being so soft, they are going to sort of lose their tip very easily, and we need that sharp edge to create those highlights. So there's probably going to be a bit of sharpening involved with this one today. That's okay. Like I said, we may even go in and add some white posca and then just dull it down a bit to help indicate it. Now on our metal frame, because this would also be getting some glow, we're gonna add in some light reflex. Other thing I want to do is I really want to bring in this sort of white edge along here with the shroom. And I think the shroom is where we are going to have to, because I've already dug too hard into that edge. So we are going to have to pull out a white here, because this would be rather intense compared to the rest of the mushrooms. So yeah, that's the start of our glow. So now it's just going around and sort of picking up these edges and figuring out where the glow is and bringing in those lights, because we did spend ages darkening all our darks, and now we're just going to lighten our lights. And again, contrast, because contrast is our friend. We want that definition. We want to have those touches of colour, of light and dark, to help the piece read even more. So there'll be a little bit of glow around here, and then along our mushroom around the side here, got a bit over here. Our playing card, for example, that would have some light. a bit of light. You get a bit of light. You get a bit of light. You get a bit of light. Come to the light. Last time I went into hospital was my big fall, and I don't plan on going back to hospital anytime soon. Cause that's it. But. Out later. I am put on Facebook about the fact that I'm going to be the graduate speaker at graduation, so it's pretty exciting. In fact, I've made Mum her coffee, and there shouldn't be any more messages from her, so we'll just put that on mute for a while. Because it looks like one of the very active discords I'm in is starting to peak up. And all you're going to get is So we are, like, it's not the brightest of blue glows, and I am wondering if maybe I pull out an actual blue. What do we think? Like, it's definitely cool toned. Do you think we should go brighter blue with the light reflex, or keep it this almost white blue? Because if we're going to do it, this is the time to do it. Such a pretty blue glow. Okay. Suppose we can always go in and add more. We can always add more. Just keep adding and adding and adding. So as I move down this tree, and we're moving further away from this bright glow up here, we're starting, so we use more of the white directly up here, and we're starting to use the cloud blue as we go down. So it's still pretty light, but it's not as intense as that white highlight that we used initially. Now, even though this should technically be in the cloud blue, because we're working on top of a blue mushroom, I'm going to actually work in white on this mushroom just so the light actually picks up. Now, you'd actually be in shadow, so you don't really have too much light. Same with you. You've just got very minimal light. However, this tree would be getting direct light. So... and then these branches would be getting light as well. I'm hearing people in the building, and it's a public holiday, so none of the offices are in, but I forget one of the office does work really weird hours, so you never quite know. Radiating light gives such a texture to the air. Oh, thank you. We can actually, because of the way that the lighting situation is happening, what we will probably end up doing going back is actually extending some of these out almost like faded rays, because the light would be diffused. If you've ever looked at like light coming through dust, or you know, where you can see those actual beams of light, there would be that sort of going on in here, because it is sort of like a dark forest. I mean, it's not as dark as it could have been, and I am still tempted to go over the background and also darken up part of the background, which is what I'll assess when we've done all our lights, if we do need to add contrast to that back. And if we do, it's just like I'll go over the background with a glaze of a dark green to just sort of set it in place. So over here it really wouldn't be getting too much direct light, so we'll just kind of, but we do want a little on our bird. And then we do want our Posca to do an eye shiny, because we like eye shinies. And we'll do this one's eye shinies while we're at it too. I'm going to add an extra eye shinies. Something's going on out there. Such a great quote in the garden catalogue I just got about hummus and the connection between people and the soil. Okay. I build a laser projector. That sounds really cool. It's so cool. Right, so now we've got some grass that would have highlights, we've got some shrooms that would have lights, and we've got a face that would also be getting some lights. So we've got a bit of lights to do around here. We might have to sharpen our cloud blue again. To art or to potato? That depends on how you're feeling, but also how your wrists are feeling, because self-care is important, and if your wrists are feeling it, please allow your wrists to heal and recover. But if you're feeling up to it and you're in the vibes to art, I vote art. But there's nothing wrong with also potatoing. Potato art. True, you can do both. art of potato cooking. Where's Mike when you need him? Mike the potato. Alright, you'd have. So I'm going to come back into this shroom here. This is one of the yellow shrooms, so we're just going to use our white, even though it is more of the blue. Again, the intensity of the yellow means that the blue is really just not showing up. Also need to sharpen again. I am also very into pretty lights. I'm also into having functional lights that help light up my space, so I'm very grateful for having a better lighting setup now. Eventually I will get myself in a room where I can set up my art and I don't have to worry about my lights. I was contemplating, and I still am very seriously contemplating, switching around my bedroom and my lounge. So basically making the bedroom an office and then moving my bed into the lounge. And yeah, it will be a lot of work. I don't really have people over, so it's not really too much in terms of having people over. It will provide more space, but the effort involved in moving the bedroom, and for me as well with my limited mobility, it's like, do I have the spoons to even bother? Spoiler, I really don't. Now we got some new shinies. Alright, so I haven't actually been working much with our blue-violet lake, which I'm going to start bringing a bit more of this in. This will help bring out that blue tone. Can be used to just blend out some of these highlights. And we can use it to sort of give a little bit of edge lighting without too intense edge lighting. Basically just adding that blue touch to our highlights, particularly in these leaves, because it blends really beautifully with the leaves. And so as we move further away from our direct light source, our highlights, like originally here, they're really crisp and defined because we've got such direct light. But then as we move away, we want to sort of blend out those highlights because the light is becoming more diffused. It is not as directly intense. So the light's going to spread a bit further. Oh, right, I've missed a bunch. I apologise. Because of migraines, but blue LEDs became cheaper, yeah. I'd like to get some LEDs around as well for pretty backgrounds. Oh, migraines sound terrible. I'm sorry to anyone who gets migraines, they sound awful. Alright, so we're going to do nose highlight, but just on one side because that's the side that's facing, which means we also need to do some highlights over here, and even like half the lip would be getting a little bit of blue light, but then not this side because that side's actually in shadow. And now that I've done that, I can see that in contrast this is too bright, so we're just going to bring this down slightly. So this is like one of the things where as you lay down these colours and tones, other things that you've done will start to come together, and you'll start to pick up and realise, okay, I need to bring that in, I need to do this. So this is why, even though a section might be finished, we're still going to go back and touch sections. Even after a piece is finished, I might still look at it for a while and go, actually, no, I need to add this in and touch it like months or even years later. Alright, so slight touch the underside of the ears because of back glow. That would have just the slightest amount. Alright, we're going to extend this out just a little bit because I want to bring it out just a bit further. And when I'm bringing this out, I'm making the sides wider than the top and bottom because, again, we've got this lantern case. So that stops light going up. Like, it's going to radiate out a bit, but it's going to be more coming out the sides because it's unobstructed. So our sides are definitely more intense. In fact, if I was being accurate, I probably wouldn't actually do any top and bottom, but it's just easier to work in a circle. If I was being truly accurate, I would do this, but also sometimes Amy is lazy and looks for cheap ways to do things that kind of help it come together just a little bit quicker. Which is actually valid in art. It's called art hacks. It's a thing. We like art. We like art hacks. Oh my goodness. I cannot word. This bodes well. Alright, where's our grey? Because now I've done our lights, I'm seeing areas we want to darken. Because this side of him would actually not be getting any light. So let's darken quite a bit of this. Is that our dark green? That's our dark green. Gonna use this on our face just to push those darks even further because again the side's in the dark, so it's still gonna have eye shinies though because I love eye shinies. Eye shinies just make a piece. You'd have a little bit of glow around here, just a little bit since these are kind of being just caught. Not much, but just a touch. Mostly because I like doing the blue highlights. I think they're pretty. But it does mean that the rest of you really needs desaturating. Black. So it's fun to learn. That's what I did loan with the colouring page. I put up a thing and was like, which one are we going to work on? And Woodland Troll was the winner. And I'm so glad it was, because I have really enjoyed this page. And if you haven't gathered, we're on the home stretch. I'm really just picking at details now. So if you see anything that you think needs picking at, let me know. But we are very close to being done. And I'm just debating as to whether or not I add a bit of darkness to that background, which I think I might do because it might help those lights pop out a bit more, just adding that contrast. Off stream. Just gonna see what it looks like. Just do a little test section. This isn't really dark enough as a color if we're gonna do that. I really should put that credit card in my wallet. I just don't carry my credit card on me. If it's on me, then I can spend. So now deep cobalt is going to be deep, but pine green could be an answer. Let's just experiment. I mean, hey, if I run the page, we've got proof that it went to this point, you know? Nope, I think I have to bite the bullet. I think I have to do it. We have to do the scary. We have to use the black. I want to just create a bit of depth between the foreground and the midground and the background. So the way to do that, we're layering in some black. We already have done a quick pass over the trees with the black, but we're just adding in another layer now. Really just helping that differentiate a bit more. Yeah. So it's just a subtle touch, but it's just one of those things that doing it makes me that much happier. And then we're going to use our light color again, and we're just going to do the tips of some of these taller mushrooms, which means we need to do the tree down here, which means we need to bring this down in here too. You'd be in shadow, so that's fine. Bring in some lights on these leaves. This light's pretty good. I did go pretty heavy on the dark on this side. I think we're just going to darken under here again. And then that green. But really stack my pencils there. Just make a mess on the desk. Let's not cover the microphone with the page either. It's very handy that my Mythomorphia book is falling apart, but it's also really annoying sometimes. We're just going to very, very lightly work over this bottom. Just because this, like, we've worked so many layers on everything else, and this bottom is just very, very patchy. Light sensitivity. Oh, that's interesting. It's funny, a number of years ago, I think 2015, I had to go for some specialist eye tests because my eyes were giving me a lot of grief, and also, like, I had just gotten glasses and a couple months later my eyes had deteriorated, so they sent me for specialist tests because they're like, and when they were doing the scans at the optometrist, they're like, yeah, I think we're going to have a specialist just have a look at this. So I was referred to the eye centre through the hospital, which is done at a private eye clinic, but it's through the hospital system, so you don't pay. Basically, rather than having an eye clinic at the hospital, it's cheaper to pay the private eye centres to run the clinics, so they do that. So yeah, I make my way over there, and they start doing all these like really weird in-depth eye examinations and looking in the back of my eye. And then the specialist that's looking at it stops and goes, so, as a baby, were you ever dropped on your head? And I'm like, what? And he's like, were you dropped on your head? And it's like, as far as I know, no. And then he's like, have you ever been in a car accident? And at that point I had not. I was like, no. And he's like, have you ever had significant trauma to your eyes in your life? Like, you know, have you ever been punched so hard that you have been knocked out? And I'm like, no, what is going on with my eyes? He's like, oh, you've just got all the scarring in your eyes as if your eyes were like traumatized and inflamed and then settled down. And I was like, what? No, like, I haven't been in a car accident. Like, at that stage, the worst car accident I'd been in was when a car had sort of bumped against us on the one way, and it was like just the slightest little dent, and like we were going like 10 k's an hour, so absolutely not a car accident at all, just a like ping, like a bumper car. And I was like, I'm accident prone, but I'm fairly confident I've never been dropped on my head. And so the eye specialist is like, I just can't explain this. You've got all this weird scarring, and this might be why you're having some issues with focusing. So this is 2015, keep this in mind. And so I come out of the eye appointment, and the first thing I do is I ring my mum, and it's like, Mum, did you drop me on my head as a baby? Like, what's going on? She's like, no, I promise I didn't. She's like, so I explain what the eye specialist has said, and she's like, the only head trauma I can think of you having, like physical head trauma, not mental health trauma, that's a whole other thing, physical health trauma to your head, is that they had to use forceps to get you out of me because your head was so big. But other than that, and it's like, yeah, but that shouldn't, like, we couldn't explain it. Roll on 2020 and I get diagnosed with an autoimmune inflammatory condition. Roll on to 2021 and that condition starts attacking my eyes, which is something that's happened before, but I hadn't really thought about it. And so, because I'm now informed of what ankylosing spondylitis is, I now know it's uveitis. So I ring up my hospital specialist for my ankylosing spondylitis, and I'm like, yo, can you refer me to the eye centre because one of my eyes is red and inflamed, and I now know this is uveitis, not just me having like bad allergies or a bad eye day. And they're like, oh heck yes, we'll get you some steroids. So they send me through, and the eye specialist sees me and then is like, oh yeah, this is definitely uveitis, and he looks at my paperwork and goes, Oh, the inflammation. And I've forgotten about this, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, the inflammation scarring. And he's like, the inflammation scarring. I'm like, we haven't answered why I have random scarring in my eyes. Oh, so yeah, again, all these things going on for so long that just wasn't picked up. So funny, so funny. You got knocked out by a freaking soccer ball. Yikes. Kohai, that is absolutely valid. Please do get some sleep. 4 a.m. It's almost 4 a.m. for you. Please get some sleep, hun. Again, you won't be missing out. This will go up on YouTube. I'll post on the socials the completed image. I'll post it in the Discord. So you won't be missing out. But it's been lovely, lovely, lovely having you here. With all your rainbow emotes. I love them. I love all your rainbow emotes. You have such wonderful emotes to spam. So thank you so much for being here, hun. I hope you've enjoyed your little tour of New Plymouth as well. And I will catch you at the next stream or in the Discords or around at the different channels. Right, we are very close to being done. I'm just going to start picking up some bits, some more highlights. Again, this is a stage where you can just keep picking. Like, you can just keep picking at this. But we are essentially done. Side to side, let's go. Right. So there's a couple of areas that are in quite direct light. So we're going to use the Posca. And as you saw, I just used my hand to kind of smudge some of those extra bits away. Which still gives us more opaqueness than I can get with the Prismacolor white. But not complete opaqueness as if I was just putting direct Posca on the page. This will just help give us that really bright tip in these areas where there's a lot of light around. I'm actually going to do that over here on the mushroom a bit too. Let's go. Side, let's go. Guess what, folks? Just as the computer warns me it's time for the ad break. How is that for timing? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah. My speaker's in the way. That's the problem. There we go. Now you can see it. So yes, we are about to head into a 3-minute ad break. I'm going to take this opportunity to go to the bathroom because I do need to pee. I'm going to grab some more liquid. And then when we come back, we're going to be able to start a new page because we're finished. We're finished. So I hope you've enjoyed this process. I will see you all in a few minutes because we're still going. We're still going.